come up here. She's going to swear you an oath.
You solemnly swear to truthfully answer the question. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Please have a seat over here, sir. Once you're situated, just try to address the microphone so it's kind of aimed at your chin, and then make sure the light is on. Okay? Okay. All right, Mr. Nelson, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Could you state your name for the record, please?
Matthew Hansen.
And could you spell your first and last name for the court, please?
Matthewhansen.
Okay. And you know the defendant, is that accurate?
Yes.
How do you know the defendant?
She worked with me at Etelicare.
Etelicare, that was the business in Minot?
Yes.
Were you her supervisor at that business?
Yes, I was.
Approximately how long were you her supervisor at that business?
I don't know. I don't remember. Year or two. I don't recall exactly how long it was.
Somewhere between a year and 2 years?
I think so. I don't know. That's a guess. I don't specifically remember how long, but it was a while.
You were her supervisor.
Objection, Your Honor. He's testifying.
Sustained.
Let me ask the question this way. Were you her supervisor in June of 2007?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall conversations with the defendant prior to June 4th of 2007?
Yes.
Do you recall conversations about issues between the defendant and her roommate?
Yes.
What sort of things did the defendant say about her and her roommate?
She had just talked about her situation at their apartment.
What did she say about the situation?
Just that they weren't getting along. She was, some strange things, like she was locked out of the Wi-Fi, and I remember her telling me that she was locked out of a microwave or something, things that just seemed strange at the time, but a little bit ridiculous, you know?
How did she seem when she talked about these?
She was kind of stuck in a bad spot. She made it seem like she was up at my desk, and I just remember her talking to me that it always ended in, what am I supposed to do? Or what do I do? Or what am I supposed to do? Type of things. Every time she would talk about their living situation, she was stuck in this. She was very worried about the lease.
What do you mean she was worried about the lease?
Well, because I would tell her that just move out, and she'd say she couldn't because she was in a lease. She was just very worried about the lease that they had at the time, that she couldn't get out of this situation.
Okay. Now, was Nichole a good worker at Etelicare?
Yeah.
How
Yep.
so?
I'm sorry?
1 second. Tell me about her as a worker.
She was a great sales agent, a top performer consistently.
Okay. Was there an award for that?
Yeah, we did have awards for that. Yeah. Yeah.
Was she going to be a recipient of one of those awards?
Well, we had like monthly, sales awards and things like that, and I'm sure that she was. I don't remember that either, but I think you're alluding to there was a trip that was won. Yeah.
Let's talk about the trip. What do you remember about the trip?
The company that we sold roadside assistance for on the wireless phones had offered an incentive trip to Florida. I don't remember the specifics of it. It was I want to say it was like a 5-day, all expenses paid trip to Florida. It was a big deal in the call center at the time. It was a huge incentive thing. I don't know if we ever had one like that before or after, to be honest, but it was a big deal. Yeah.
Was that something that a lot of people were gunning for then?
Yes, everyone was gunning for it, yeah.
Okay. But Nichole was the one who got the trip.
Yes, she was.
Okay. Did she take the trip?
No, she did not.
Why not?
After these events, she no longer worked there.
Okay. Were you working there on June 4th of 2007?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Was Nichole working there that day?
Yes.
Do you remember how she was acting that day?
Was this The day that the police called me and stuff, is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
I mean, it's not like the fresh to my memory, but I remember she seemed a bit like hurried that day, you know, a little bit sped up, going about her thing, not as social as usual. She was kind of quick to get to her desk and things.
Would that have been different than the way she would act on other days?
Possibly, yeah.
Do you recall when dispatch called about getting were you there for a phone call from dispatch?
Yes, they called.
What did they call about?
They called me and said that Nichole needed to go to her apartment.
Did they give you any information beyond that?
No, they did not.
Did you relay that information to Nichole?
Yes, I did.
And what did she say in response?
I went to her and I said, the police called, you have to go to your apartment. And she just kind of, I don't even think she looked at me. From what I remember, she just said, no, my roommate's a crackhead. I'm not dealing with it, and this and that. And I was kind of just like, okay. So I went back to the phone and I relayed that to the police on the phone. And they said, well, she either comes here now or we're going to come there and take her here.
Did you relay that information to the defendant?
Yes, I did.
And what was her response to that?
I believe she up and left.
Okay. So at that point, she left Etelicare.
Yes.
Did she ever return to Etelicare after that point?
I don't remember, honestly. It seems to me that she did not, but she may have. I don't specifically remember that.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Sand, do you have any cross-examination for
Just
Mr.
a few.
Hansen?
Just a few, sir. How many years ago was this, sir?
What are we, is it 17?
Yeah, 17. You said you have trouble recalling a lot of the stuff that happened 17 years ago. How old were you back then?
24, I think.
And you were a supervisor.
Yeah.
Nice. Was that trip to Florida or was it to Cancun?
I thought it was Florida, but
But it was a long time ago.
yeah.
And you don't remember if she came back to work or not?
I don't.
Too long ago.
It seems to me that in my mind she didn't, but I'm not sure enough to say,
Right.
you know.
Did you guys have any kind of relationship outside of work?
No.
No. How many people worked under your division?
Well, on my team specifically, just
Sure.
on my team, or
Yep.
like between 15 and 20.
Okay. That's all I got. Thank you very much, sir.
Mr. Nelson, anything else?
No, redirect, Your Honor.
All right, is Mr. Hansen here by subpoena?
He is, Your Honor. He can be released.
Thank you. Mr. Nelson, I'm sorry, Mr. Sand, any
No, sir.
concerns?
No.
All right, thank you very much. So you may come
Thank
and go,
you.
would you please? Next witness, Ms. Sorgan.
Your Honor, I've just been advised by our victim witness coordinator that our next witness is circling in Grand Forks, a little lost. She went to go meet her to bring her here. So if we could maybe take about a 10, 15-minute recess, that would be much appreciated.
Do you have another one after this one?
No, Your Honor, that would be the end of the witnesses for the day that we have for today. The rest are not expected in until this evening.
Okay, so this was the three then.
This was the three, yes.
Okay. All right, well, it doesn't look like we have a whole lot of choice that way, so I apologize.
I apologize for that, Your Honor.
And I understand. Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, a little short break. Hopefully short. I won't give you an exact time, but the time right now is 40 minutes after 1. Please do not converse with any witness, any party, or any attorney in this case concerning any matter. Direct any questions or discussions that you may. Form nor express. All right, please have a seat. Anything before we break, Ms. Sorgan?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Sand, anything before we break?
No, sir.